Hey folks, my name is Emily and this is 108 Stitches, episode 2. So I'm back for a second episode. This is a video podcast mostly about knitting, a little bit about other crafty things that I do a little bit of, and a tiny bit about baseball. So welcome back if you're returning. Thank you so much. I honestly can't believe the amount of love and support I got after posting my first episode last week. I can't tell you how much joy it brought me just to see the really kind comments that you all sent and people subscribing to the channel and everything. Really, it really solidified my decision to post that first episode. It made me feel really good about it. Just that talking about knitting with you all could bring a little bit of joy into your days, and so just seeing that definitely brought a lot of joy into my life and into my days. And another thing bringing me joy today is this little floof. This is Maple. She's visiting us this weekend. She's our friend's dog, and so we're happy to have her for the weekend. So again, my name is Emily, and I live in Seattle, Washington with my husband Nafis and our pup Norman, who is actually sitting down just out of shot in Maple's bed right now, playing with one of his toys. So maybe he'll make an appearance later in the episode. But so thanks again for watching, and I'm excited to hop into the knitting content and just share with you all what I've been working on the last week or so. One other note, I'm sorry if the lighting is a little bit weird. The sky is very yellow here, so I don't know if you all have heard about the wildfires that are happening kind of all over the West Coast. It is coming from, we have a lot of smoke coming from those wildfires. So we're pretty far north, so because we're in Seattle, so we're north of a lot of the worst of it. There are fires in California and Oregon, but there's also some in eastern Washington that we're getting quite a bit of smoke from. So just the yellow coming in from the window, I thought the lighting might be weird, so hopefully it isn't too off today. So let's just go ahead and hop into it. Finished objects. I have a couple to show you. One of them is maybe something that you all were expecting to see, and that is my Plumpy shawl. So I finished my Plumpy shawl, and let me just hold it up. Here it is. I don't know if you can see it, all of it. I'm pretty happy with it. So again, this is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. I knit it out of Earl Grey Fiber Company in their Oolong DK base. And the colorways are color A, which is the gray color, is called Needle. The white color, color B, which is right here, this is called Peppered. The orangey yellow color is Stay Gold, and then this gorgeous blue color is Fjord. So when I was looking on my screen actually last week, it seemed like this color wasn't showing up very well, but then later when I published the video, it looks like you guys maybe could have seen it a little bit better. So hopefully you can see it. It's just this gorgeous like dark blue turquoise color, and I'm really loving this color right now. I want to knit everything out of this color, but so Plumpy. Let me show you all the right side. I think I showed you that, but here it is, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I told you all last time that I was really worried about running out of the gray yarn, and I did. I ran out of it. So I don't know if you can tell when you look at it. This part right here, let me try to hold this up. This part right here, there's like a little nub kind of, and so what happened is, I don't want to talk about this too much because it is like a paid pattern, but essentially, when you're constructing this part, you're decreasing along this like inner spine, and I was not going to be able to make it, so I just started decreasing from the outer edge as well, like pretty aggressively, and then I barely made it, so I wish I had started decreasing at the beginning of the section on the edge as well, so that it looked more like uniform, but anyway, it's okay. I'm happy that I made it all the way through the shawl, and I'm pretty happy with the end result. So I will normally wear this kind of bunched up, like kind of wrapped around like a scarf cowl thing. Oh my gosh, it's just so big and squishy, and I'm so happy with it. And I can't wait for it to be cold, and well, I don't know if I can't wait for it to be cold, but I can't wait to be able to wear this. So I'm really happy with the end result. This is the second really kind of big shawl that I've made. The first one I made was just a couple months ago. I made Vertices Unite, the large size, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with that pattern. It's a Stephen West shawl pattern, and I really liked it as well. Maybe I'll share that at some point. But I'm really kind of liking these like massive shawls. I really like knitting them, and also it's just so fun how big and squishy they are, and it's almost the size of a blanket, which is really nice. I'm always cold, so I actually was wearing this even though like we don't have air conditioning in our house, because it's almost never hot enough to require air conditioning in Seattle. And it was a little warm. I think it was 78 or 79 degrees inside of our house yesterday, but after I finished weaving in all the ends, I was still wearing Plumpy, and I wasn't too uncomfortable. So yeah, that is Plumpy. Oh, I forgot to also mention what I'm wearing. Last week I wasn't wearing any knitted garments, but today I am. So I'm wearing the Lydia Tank. Oh shoot, I can't remember the designer, but I'll try to post. I'll link it down in the description box. But I think a lot of people have knit this. Like, it's like a little crop tank. This is actually the second one I've made. I made one for my sister last year, and I loved it so much that I decided that I needed to knit another one. And then my knitting group actually, 4 of us all knit one at the same time. It was really fun. But the yarn, this one is Madeline Tosh Pashmina, which I believe is like a wool cashmere blend. It's like a sport weight yarn, and then this colorway is Tart, which is probably my favorite Madeline Tosh colorway. I love it a lot. But anyway, that is what I am wearing today, and I really like this. I didn't wear it enough in the summer, so now I'm wearing it kind of as we're getting into fall with like really high-waisted pants and a sweater. But I still am really happy with it. Anyway, yeah, next, for finished objects, I have a sewing finished object. Actually, I didn't grab the other one, which is okay because I'm not super happy with it. But I sewed a couple of bags last weekend. I sewed bento bags. So I don't know if you're familiar with bento bags. I got the pattern online on a website called Sew It's Made, I think is what it's called. And here it is. So I made, I did kind of like a trial bag first with some other leftover fabric that I had. It's like the fabric that I used for the first shirt that I made. I had some leftover. The pattern originally calls for like a outer fabric and a lining fabric that you seam together, and then you construct the bag from there. So I did that, and then I didn't take into account how much the seam allowances would take from the, so I don't need to go too far into this, but essentially it just like the proportions were wrong. It ended up very weird, and it was too small. And so then I gave it another go, and I decided not to do the lining fabric and just to do a single like piece of fabric, and then I like hemmed around the edge of the fabric, and I made this bag, and I'm really, really proud of it. Yeah, I think it's a perfect size. I have my socks that I'm knitting right now in this bag, and I'm really happy with it. So it's just like a little pouch, and then you can take the ends and tie them, and it's just very cute. Yeah, so I'm happy with it. I'm probably going to make some more. I may make some for my grandmothers for their birthdays, because I think they might like them as well. So yeah, that was another finished object. And then my final finished object for the week is a half finished object, and it is my first sock for my Grammy. So this is Hermione's Everyday Socks by Erica Luder. I actually cast on, I think the pattern calls for 64 stitches. I did 60, just because I think my gauge is a little bit bigger. And then the yarn on this is, actually let me put this on, I brought this, so I should put it on the sock blocker. I have not blocked the sock yet because I'll wait until the second one's finished, but, so here it is. This is, the yarn is Woolberry Fiber Company in their Berry Merino base, which is 100% superwash merino base. I thought it had nylon in it when I bought it, and it doesn't, but hopefully the socks will hold up. And the colorway is Blushing Bride. And I talked about that a little bit more last week. Why I chose this colorway and like why it's kind of meaningful to me and for my Grammy as well. So this will be a gift for my Grammy, my dad's mom. And her birthday is at the end of this month, so hopefully I can finish the second one and then send those off to her. So yes, Hermione's everyday sock, and I am really happy with how this yarn knit up. I think it's really pretty. So that's all my finished objects. As far as works in progress go, whips, I cast on the next sock. I have only done a couple rows of the ribbing for this sock, so yeah, hopefully I'll be able to make more progress on that and finish it in the next week or so that I can send that off to her. I knit my socks on 9-inch circulars. These are ChowGoo 9-inch circulars. This is a US 1.5 or 2.5 millimeter needle. Yeah, so that is that, my first work in progress. My second work in progress I also showed last week. It is the Girl from the Grocery Store, which is a shawl by Joji Locatelli, and I am knitting this as part of her fall knit along. So this is the progress I have made on it so far. Yeah, so not a lot of progress. This has actually not been very much knitting. I'm really enjoying this yarn and I'm enjoying the pattern, but it's the stripes. So I do the stripes, and then originally I thought, okay, I'm just going to carry the yarn up the side because I do not want to weave in a whole bunch of ends. So I decided that I was going to do that, and I started it and I was doing that. I was carrying the yarn up the side, and then I just really didn't like the way that it looked. So I decided, okay, I'll just weave in the ends. So now I'm weaving in 4 ends for every stripe. So the only way I was going to make it through this pattern is if I did it as I went. So I started doing it. I started weaving in the ends as I go. And this yarn is really, really nice, and I love the way that it feels, and it's very squishy, but it's almost slippery. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's kind of slick, and the ends are like slipping out. They're not staying like tucked in, and so they're just like little tiny bits of yarn sticking out everywhere, and it's really irritating me. So I'm almost wishing I had kept carrying it up the side, but I don't know. I'm happy with the way that it's looking. Oh, I forgot to say the yarn. So this yarn is Grenouille, and the colorways I'm using for the main color, this is Lamp Black, which is just like a nice dark gray, and this other one is, I think it's pronounced Hecate, which is just gorgeous, and I tried to show this last week, and I don't think you guys could see the colors very well, so I'm going to give it another go, so hopefully I can, you guys can see it, hopefully, maybe. Yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. I don't know if the color is showing up super well, but they're just like these blue and like yellow and plum specks, and it's just so gorgeous, and I love it so much. So, oh, come back. Come back. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, so I'm loving this color, and I'm loving the way that it's knitting up. So that is that. Hopefully I can make some progress this week. And I really want to get to the, like, there's like a feather and fan section at the bottom. I really want to get to that section. I want to get through these stripes, and I want to be done weaving in all the ends. So that is my last work in progress. So the only other knitting, well, I guess I'm still working on my baseball socks, but maybe I'll show those at the end in the baseball section. I thought that might be fun to just show them in the baseball section, because they don't look that different than they did before. So the only other thing I have to share is actually a swatch. So I have some future knitting that I'm going to talk about. My knitting group and I are planning to knit the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie May. We're all planning to knit that together, and I swatched for it. So let me grab that. Sorry. And I'll grab the yarn too. So this is a swatch for the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie May. It's just a classic raglan sweater that I have not ever knit before, and so I'm really excited about it. It calls for a fingering weight yarn and a mohair yarn held together. So that is what I am planning to use. And here's my swatch. I never like swatch and bind it off. I normally just swatch and like knit a few rows and then like kind of measure it on the needle and then pull it out. But I have a couple reasons why I bound this one off. One is because I wanted to show you all, and I just feel more like professional of a podcaster if I swatch and I bind it off and I show it to you all. But the other reason is because I have a cork board. I think this is also pretty common, but I have a cork board up, actually like kind of in our dining room kitchen area, and I want to put swatches up on it because I feel like it'll look really cute. So I swatched and I bound it off. I should have plenty of yarn, so I'm not worried about that. The yarn I'm using here, this yarn is actually a gift from one of my knitting group friends, Sylvan, so thank you so much for this. The yarn is Madeline Tosh Euro Sock in the Stormborn colorway, which is really gorgeous. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but it is, it's white with like blue and like little tiny orange speckles. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. There's like black speckles and like little orange speckles as well, which is really gorgeous. And I'm kind of regretting using this in like a, come back, there we go. I'm kind of regretting this, using this with a mohair, because I feel like you don't see the speckles as well. But here's the swatch. Maybe I'll try to go close up with this as well. There it is. I don't know if you can see it, but here's the swatch. And the mohair is, I feel like I'm going to mess up the pronunciation of this. Oh. The mohair is from Biche and Bouche, I think is how you say it. And it's their silk mohair in the dark blue turquoise colorway. So I'm normally more of like a neutrals person for like my sweaters and garments, and so when I decided I wanted to use this yarn for the Cozy Classic Raglan, I thought I would pick like a really light gray or maybe a white to pair with it. And then I saw that someone had knit the Cozy Classic Raglan with white and a really dark green held together, and I thought it was really pretty. So I talked to my friends in my knitting group, and they all voted for me to do this like dark blue turquoise color held together, and I'm actually pretty happy with the way that it looks. So hopefully I'll like the finished sweater. But I got gauge on a size 6 needle. I think the pattern calls for a 7, but I got gauge on a 6, and I'm planning to knit the size small for the sweater. And I'm not quite sure when we're going to cast this on. I know a couple people are waiting on yarn maybe in the group, so it may not be for another like couple weeks, but I just wanted to go ahead and swatch for it. So that is that. I'm just like moving all of my things from one side of the couch to the other once I'm done talking with them. But right, so acquisitions. I did not expect to have any acquisitions this week, and you guys may have already noticed this, but I have a new bag. I have this bag. And this was a gift that I was not expecting at all from my mom, who I love so much, and I can't believe that she did this. I seriously couldn't believe it, but so this is a Fringe Supply Company field bag, which I talked about last week because they are closing, or already closed, I guess, and not making bags anymore, and I didn't have one, and I decided to buy one, and so I did buy one. I have this one here that I showed last week as an acquisition, which is the natural color in the waxed canvas fabric. And my mom, when she watched my podcast, she decided to buy me another bag, which is just so nice. So it actually arrived in the mail last night, and I was freaking out because I was like, oh my gosh, did I accidentally buy this and not realize it? Like, did I purchase something and just not even remember purchasing it? But I saw on the receipt it had her email address, and so I texted her this morning about it, actually, and she was just so nice and said that she, as soon as I was talking about how they were kind of discontinued, she wanted to find one and give it to me. So thank you so much, Mom. I love you. Thank you. And I love the bag. I'm really happy with it. I think the pattern is really nice. This is actually the, I believe, the Holiday Jen Hewitt pattern. And this is just another Fringe Supply Company field bag. And right now it has my girl from the grocery store shawl in it. So thank you, Mom. Yeah, so that is my only acquisition of the week. I did order a couple things, so hopefully they'll be here for next time. But I'll just go ahead and let that wait. Yeah, and I think that is all of the knitting content that I have for this week. So I will just go ahead and hop into some life things. Yeah, so I already talked about the fires a little bit. So we were planning last Wednesday. So last Monday was Labor Day, and so we had off. And we actually did our fantasy football draft for my family league, which was really fun. We have 12 teams in the league this year, just lots of family. We've been doing this league, I think, since 2013. And Nafis and I, my husband and I, play on a team together. The first year we played separately, but ever since then we've played on a team together. And I think we've come in second place 5 out of the 6 years or something like that. I mean, it's ridiculous how often we've come in second place. We won once, but we've come in second place, I think, every other time. So, anyway, we drafted again this year, and that was really fun to see all my family. We did a little virtual draft where we were all on a Zoom call, and we got to chat with each other and draft, and that was really fun. And then Nafis and I were planning, I think I mentioned this last episode, but we were planning on Wednesday to take a trip down to the Oregon coast. So we had everything planned. I was so excited about it. We were going to go do some hiking and spend some time on the beach, and we were going to take Norman, and it was going to be his first ever time seeing the ocean. He's seen lakes and stuff. He doesn't really like to swim, but we wanted to take him to the beach and just kind of see how he did with it. So I was really excited about that. And then Tuesday, we decided that we couldn't go because of the fires. Just the smoke and the air quality there in Oregon was just too bad, and we didn't think it was safe for us to go. So we decided not to go, and it was really a bummer, but that's okay. We'll hopefully be able to go some other time, maybe later this year or even just next year. But yeah, that was kind of a bummer, but we did do some other things last weekend that were fun. I think I mentioned that we like to try different breakfast foods. We like to cook different breakfast foods, so we tried Egg Benedict for the first time. And so we made biscuits. I made homemade biscuits, grated the butter and everything, and they turned out pretty good. And we had bacon and avocado and hollandaise sauce, and Nafis attempted poached eggs, and he wasn't really happy with how they turned out the first go. I mean, I thought they still tasted, I don't know, I guess I'm not really picky about my eggs. It tastes like eggs, So I don't know. I was happy with them, but he tried again. So I think we did that last Saturday, and then on Sunday he tried again, and he made the perfect poached egg, and he was really happy with that. So I'm happy we did that. That was really fun. And this weekend, so it's Saturday today, and tomorrow, Sunday morning, we're planning to make French toast, which should be good. I love French toast, and so I think we'll make that, and that should be fun. The only other things that have kind of happened in the last week, we played some more of that Overcooked level, which I talked about last week. Overcooked, for those who don't know, is a co-op video game where you and your partner work together to assemble and like cook and deliver dishes, like food dishes. So you have to like chop up the ingredients and like put them in the pan, and then like, you know, you make a burger and then you have to make like French fries on the side or something, or like you make a burrito and you have to put like the tortilla and the cooked rice and like the cooked chicken in there or whatever. And so we love this game. We've been playing it for a long time, and there have been like lots of new versions of the game and expansions and stuff. And we've been stuck on a level forever. It feels like, I mean, it has been months. We've been stuck on this level for months. And we made some progress this last week. We actually played it quite a bit, and we got so close, and we didn't quite make it. And yeah, that twice. So one time we delivered what we thought was the number of dishes that we needed to complete the level, and we were just like a couple points short, which was heartbreaking. And then another time, Nafis had completed the dish and had to pass it to me for me to deliver it. And I picked up the dish, and then the time ran out as I was turning to deliver it. And that would have done it. That would have been it. So we're getting so close. It feels like we're gonna make it, but it's heartbreaking at this point, how close we are. And then the only other thing I think is that we got a time-lapse camera, which I'm really excited about. We got a time-lapse camera, and right now we have it set up over a puzzle that we're doing. And so hopefully once we're done with the puzzle, we can go back and look at kind of the progression of putting the puzzle together. I feel like a lot of it, because the camera's set up like above the puzzle, I feel like it's just going to be my head, the back of my head, like leaned over the puzzle. But we'll see. Hopefully it'll be fun to watch. So that was fun. I'm looking forward to like setting it up with my plants. I have a lot of indoor plants, and I love watching their new leaves unfurl. And I kind of want to set up the time-lapse camera so that I can see like the leaves, the new leaves. Oh. What did you hear? What is going on? Oh, Norman's up now. Norman! He's stuck under his blanket. Norman always sleeps completely covered by a blanket. Norman, do you want to come say hi? Come here. Oh my goodness. Come here. Okay. This is Norm. You guys may see him more often, but you probably won't see Maple more because she's just with us for the weekend. But this is Norm. Oh, he loves to give kisses. He's our pup. He's a Boston Terrier. He's named Norman because the city that Nafis and I grew up in and where we met is Norman, Oklahoma. And that's where our family still lives. So, yeah, that's why we named him Norman. We got him just before we moved to Seattle. So he's like a little piece of home. Okay, you're done with me? Are you done? What's up, dude? Anyway, that's all I have as far as life goes. Yeah, so I'm gonna just do my little bit of a baseball spiel now. So it seems like a lot has happened in the last week of baseball. The Mariners went on a little bit of a winning streak, I think 6 games in a row, which was really fun. Yeah, let me show my baseball socks. I think I'm up to date except for the last game, so yesterday's game. Yeah, so my baseball socks, here they are. They probably don't look very different from last week, but the Mariners have a nice long blue stretch up at the top here. 6 games in a row that they won, so that's really fun. And then the Cardinal sock, where is it in here? Try not to get too tangled in loose stitches. Cardinal sock. here's my progress on the cardinal sock. Yeah, also when I was talking to my mom this morning, she told me that she thought I should show my baseball scarf from that I made last year, that I forgot to bring over last week when I was talking about my baseball socks. So I brought it over and so that I can show you. So here it is. So this scarf, let me see. The beginning of the year was here. So this is the beginning of the year. And it has 4 color stripes, 4 different stripe colors. The navy color means that the Mariners won. The tan color means that the Mariners lost. The red color means that the Cardinals won. And then this light blue color, I don't know if you can tell the difference between the blue and the navy, but the light blue color means that the Cardinals lost. So we can look throughout the whole season and you can see kind of how things went. So it's really fun. I am really happy with it. It's just a tube. And then I blocked it flat. But yeah, and I just carried the yarn up the inside so that I didn't have to deal with all the ends or anything. And I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's, I don't remember the yarn. It's like I think it's a Mirasol brand yarn, and it's alpaca, maybe? I'm sorry, I should have looked at this. But it's very soft, and I loved wearing this in the winter last year. And so this is my 2019 baseball season scarf. And I just decided the order of the stripes was based on what time the Cardinals and Mariners games ended each day, so I just did it based on the time that the game ended. So that, like, if the Cardinals and Mariners both played on one day, whichever game ended first was the stripe I would do first. So I kind of love it. And so this year I wanted to do something similar, so I decided to do the socks. But here it is, and it's kind of cute, and I like it. So there you go, Mom. I showed my scarf from last year. Other things that happened in baseball. Oh, bye, Maple. Other things that happened in baseball this week. So I said that the Mariners went on a little bit of a hot streak, and that was really fun to watch. The Marlins lost a game 29-9, which is actually the 29 runs that the Braves scored in that game is actually a modern era record. Oh, Norman, you want to come back? Come here. Okay. The 29 runs that the Braves scored in that game is actually a record in the modern era. So, fun. Also, the score 29-9 had never happened before in baseball history, so that was fun as well. But sad for a Marlins fan to watch the kind of destruction. But yeah, so that was something that happened. Another thing that happened was Mike Trout, who is one of he's probably the best baseball player right now. He has been for a long time. He's very good. He plays for the Angels, which I think they're the Los Angeles Angels now, but they're actually in Anaheim. I don't know what their technical name is, but the Angels, he hit his 300th home run, which made him the Angels' all-time home run leader, which, we expected this to happen. He's so good, and he hits lots of home runs, and he's been with the Angels for a while. But the part that I thought was actually pretty fun is that the guy who had the record before Mike Trout was named Tim Salmon. So they're both fish names that played for the Angels and were both really good players for the Angels, which I just find really fun. So Mike Trout passed Tim Salmon for the Angels home run record, which is fun. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention was that Lou Brock died this last week. At the age of 81, Lou Brock was a Cardinals player, I think, for all of his career. And he was really fun. He stole a lot of bases and was a great player for the Cardinals for a long time. And so I was really sad to hear that. But also, I met Lou Brock when I was a kid. My dad and my papa, so my dad's dad, they went to a Cardinals like fantasy baseball camp in Jupiter, Florida when I was young, and we all went to watch them. And so these fantasy camps are like you can go and you get to play with like retired Cardinals baseball players. And my dad actually, I remember Lou Brock hit a fly ball that my dad caught, and I remember that being kind of like a big deal for him and for my papa and everyone, so that was really fun. But there's a picture of me, I think that my papa posted online, of me and my sister and my brother with Lou Brock. So if I can find the picture, I may try to insert it here just because it's really sweet, and we were little, and I know that I have a baseball signed by Lou Brock. So that was really, really sad news, but it's really nice and fun to remember his career, and it seems like he was just such a nice and good guy. And yeah, so that's all of the baseball news that I have this week. I'm sure other stuff happened, but nothing that I'm gonna mention or talk about. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's all I have for you all. Thank you again for watching this, and I'm really glad that watching hopefully like brought you a little bit of joy into your days, and seeing that you all watched it definitely brought joy into my days. So I hope you have a great week. I hope you do lots of knitting and watch lots of baseball, and yeah, have a great week. Bye.